My name is Nicholl, and thank you so much for taking this time out to listen. Today, I wanted to talk about some of the individuals that are coming to YouTube channel NM Enterprise 7 as we increase in popularity, slowly but surely. I'm not interested, though, in a lot of folks coming to the pages, because I know that as you increase with viewers, what happens is that you also get a lot of haters. Okay. Each one of the audios, you're walking into a room and you're having a conversation with someone. Okay. And that conversation, though, is a one-sided conversation. That's me speaking to you about things that I've observed, things that God has showed me, things that I've read in the scriptures, personal experiences, and so forth. Okay. So the conversation right off the bat is one-sided. You, of course, will provide your information, whether accurate or inaccurate, whether in agreement or in disagreement, whether being respectful or being disrespectful. Of course, we go through the various audios, and if the information is not something we agree with, just like you have the right to disagree, we have the right to disagree. Okay? I don't want any type of arguing and so forth to show up in any of the comment sections and so forth. So that is why you do not see that sort of thing happening on this channel. I don't want the focus to be on me and you getting into it over something that has little to do with drawing near to the Lord. But the enemy wants that, and the enemy will try to do just about anything to make that sort of thing happen, because that's the type of stuff that ignorant folks enjoy. Folks that are looking for validation on their mental illness, on their issues that they don't want to deal with. Folks that love to come up with excuses. They like the arguments. They like the drama. They like folks, especially Christians, going back and forth over silly stuff. But I'm looking at heaven. That's where my head is at. And I know my days on this planet are numbered. So if you are that one that, she should have commented on this, or I wanted a response, or, I really thought that she was going to really, do more with this, that, and the other. Sorry. Okay. I cannot get to everyone, and I'm not going to, defend my statements or come up with some type of further explanation on some things. I'd rather you go to the Bible and research it for yourself, pray, fast, study, and show thyself approved, just like I had to do bringing the information to you. Okay. And that's the truth. There's a lot that goes into, some of these messages, and sometimes it's emotions, it's some things that I see people still going through, and it hurts, and it comes across in my voice at times. And to know that people can get out of their situations but don't want to, that bothers me. The other thing that bothers me is when a person doesn't listen all the way through to a message, and they just take that one statement, or they'll take, a couple paragraphs or whatever, and then they will try to make it seem as if the whole message is about that, when in fact, those of you all know that my messages are in depth. So I'm going to take you step 1, step 2, step 3. We're going to go deep with some things at times, and sometimes it's just me talking about an experience and God providing some wisdom, some scriptures, and then that's it. There is nothing more to really look into. That's why a lot of the messages, some folks are just not going to leave any comments, because they know it speaks for itself. Okay. They're not looking to nitpick. They're not looking to argue. They're looking to take what they can get from the message and apply it to their lives. But you got those individuals who are very intellectual types and, analytical, and you got those that are Pharisee minded and self-righteous, who will come through with their share of issues. Once again, I'm not entertaining that sort of thing, no more than Jesus did. There were times where Jesus commented, and other times Jesus didn't have anything to say to the people. And that's the part that some folks tend to not pay close attention to. There were times where he was quiet. And then there were times where he spoke, but he didn't provide any in-depth type of explanation. He got straight to the point. And if you liked it, you liked it. If you didn't, you didn't. If you were going to come and follow him, you came and you followed him. If you wanted to stay and deal with your family and all the other drama and so forth, then you go ahead on and you do that, right? The other thing that I also need to mention is that sometimes we get the individuals who they don't know who specifically my audience is or who I am referring to or talking to. Like in one situation, dealing with the fathers who are distant from their children. An individual came along wanting to basically tell me, do some more research on this, that, and the other. That wasn't a research type of message. It was simply talking about from a daughter and son's standpoint, what exactly is going on in that relationship, that specific relationship, okay? Which is, father is distant from children and he's not interested. We're not getting into the mother and what all the mother said or did and all of that. Some fathers just are not interested in their children. Now, somebody can take a message like that. They know what they're doing and what they're not doing. They know what type of battles they've been through. They know they could have stepped up to the plate, but maybe they didn't want to do all of that. Then they may have had some roadblocks still. That's not what that message is about. That message is about the son or the daughter who sees that their father is distant, right? And the father is not taking any interest in the children. Maybe he lost interest. Maybe he got tired of battling with the mother. Whatever the case may be, children eventually grow up. We cannot keep talking about what mama did, right? We can't keep talking about the past. But you see, some folks, they go on these different pages and they're looking for some validation on their sinful acts. And God isn't going to validate you on your sinful act. If you listen to some of these messages long enough, you know it's a good message when when you feel convicted. You went, to the message expecting one thing, and then when it was all said and done, you went you went here, there, and everywhere, and you ended up feeling like every part of you was exposed. That's a good message. That's a message where, guess what? It's time to do some work. I can't keep hiding behind my excuses anymore. I can't keep talking about what this one and that one said and did to me. Okay, I am exposed. Yes, she's talking about me. Now, what am I going to do about it? You see, some messages out there are not about what are you going to do about it. It's about the person telling you this is what you should do, and then you are supposed to follow their precepts and then come back for some more. No, God wants you to draw near to him. So you learn some things and you grow from your experiences, and then you seek knowledge as well as wisdom. And of course, it should be taking you back to the Bible. The audio messages should be taking you back to the Bible, or taking you back to the Lord, or praying, or doing something that, once again, it's about God. It's not about what this one and that one said and how I'm going to start, following after this one and, doing every itty bitty thing that this person is telling me. At some point, God is going to say that relationship that you have with this particular YouTuber is coming to an end. I need you to focus on me. All I did was use my messenger to send you a message, but I did not use my messenger for you to put them in a godly status or to put them on a throne. I did not do that. Okay. I wanted this particular audio to be clear on these things, because you get some folks who like I said, they come to your page and they are looking for validation on sin. They're looking to argue. They're looking to, discredit you or get you to say something that really has no bearing on too much of anything. They just want to talk. They just want to hear themselves talk. Or just say that, yes, I contacted her and I said this and I said that. If you are going to get into putting together your own channel, and God, you feel, is moving you on doing this, I want you to be mindful of some things. First, be mindful of the folks who want to latch on to you. Those individuals, you want to shake them off, send them right back to the Lord. Also be mindful of the liars, the ones that may just come up with any story and then say, well, if you're a Christian, then you should have known that I was lying, or I was tricking you, or I was doing whatever. You tend to pick up on some foolishness very early in the game. Okay. I personally would say that the minute you detect that there is that person trying to draw you into some type of conversation where you feel like you're going to defend yourself, your message, and God, leave that person alone. Just leave them alone. You don't owe them any type of explanation. Nobody is paying you to put up your YouTube channel. And even if they were paying you, you still don't have to respond to folks like that. I definitely will be in prayer about those types of individuals and just ask the Lord to keep them away from you, because you know what they are. They're starting stuff, and sometimes they are part of organizations to, like I said earlier, to discredit you. The other thing you want to be mindful of is those family members who are going to try to dissuade you from certain messages, because they reveal a lot. Okay? As you walk with the Lord, light will expose darkness. So you'll get some family members that'll come upon your page and assume that you're talking about them, when in fact there's so many different people that God puts in your spirit as you go this way, that you will find out that it doesn't have anything to do with anybody that you know, but somebody needed that specific message, and so God gave you some information. He downloaded it into your spirit, and now all you're doing is being that messenger, and you're sharing the gospel, or you're sharing the advice, or what have you. No different than Jeremiah, Malachi, Paul, or anybody else in the Bible who God was using. Okay. The other thing you need to also be mindful of is that this is not one of those businesses, okay, where you're going to make some money. That's not going to happen. There's a lot of folks who are broke, busted, and disgusted, and they have been manipulated, lied to. Their monies are being controlled by other folks. So if you're in it to make some money, that's not going to happen. You might every now and again get a blessing, and in that blessing, I would suggest that you ask the Lord what to do with that blessing, because sometimes there's things that come up that you're going to need to pay for, whether it's a future website, maybe it's a speaking engagement, it could be a documentary that he might want you to put together, a book. Just be prepared. So if you can put those monies aside, then by all means put them aside for whatever project it is that God wants you to participate in. Also, marketing is going to be a factor. If God directs you in, this arena, that is going to be a factor, because at some point you're going to need to share the message to a wider audience, and it's going to take some money to do that. And then, of course, if you want to promote offline and you need business cards and all of that, then that is also going to take some money. So these are things to consider if some of you all are feeling moved to do something with your audio. Also, I don't encourage you to, when you're just starting off, to welcome comments, because you will find yourself being so focused on the negative stuff, or wanting to respond to people, or you might even get a lot of positive comments, and then it might affect your personality. You might start acting prideful, and then as soon as you start, as soon as you end too, because pride comes before a fall. So it's just best not to entertain comments when you first start off, unless of course those comments are to help you build a better brand, or help you reach out to more people, or maybe somebody's interested in interviewing or something along those lines. But all of those general comments, oh, that was great, that was nice, I really appreciated that, or oh, what were you thinking when you put that together, and you should have done more work on this message and all that. You don't need all of that starting off, because it's hard enough for God to move on your spirit to get you to be obedient and listen and follow him. And then along comes these minions, or some, backsliders, or some folks that are just well-meaning, but all of that stuff can distract you. So it is best not to, be so quick to welcome the public, to comment on this, that, and the other. Definitely be in prayer. So I know that God is moving on some of you all to do some things. You're outgrowing the messages. You've heard some things quite a few times in all different ways, and you've been working hard to eliminate some things out of your life. To God be the glory. The crossroads for some of you all, you have reached. And now it's time to just go ahead and walk the straight and narrow path and get out there and fight the good fight. Okay? I don't believe in people sitting some more like they do in churches, and ministers saying things like, oh, we need you to do this and we need you to do that, and then they're never sending them out to share the gospel. We are to share the gospel. So if you have been listening to these messages for some years now, you know that it's time for you to do some things, whether it's online or offline. Some of you all have probably already started some projects. God bless you. God keep you, and continue to work hard. I thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. I pray in Jesus' name that you will continue to prosper. I pray that you will continue to receive all you can from these messages. And also, if you haven't, just receive what God's will is for your life. I pray in Jesus' name that you will spend some time seeking his will. Get the notepad out, get the pen, pull the Bible out, and just do this every single day, giving him some time each day, ready to listen, as well as share your requests, but definitely ready to listen. And then note down your dreams, note down any signs, note down anything that he speaks in your spirit about. And then, of course, if he wants you to share, he will let you know that. So I thank you so much, as always, for taking the time out to listen, and to God be the glory.